Hey, let's check in with Cedric Haynes, where he predicted our snow, but nothing like that, Cedric.
Yeah, nothing like that, at least here in the valleys, but in the mountains, it did have a couple of scenes like that yesterday evening and last night. Now, as we look outside the ABC4 studios, we're not talking about big-time snow showing up here. We're talking about these warm temperatures. It's 51 degrees outside right now. Pretty nice out there with that blue sky showing back up now that the sun is beginning to set. Getting a little cooler, but not still bad. 51. It was up to about 53, 54 a little earlier this afternoon. 40 currently, though, in Logan. 46 in Ogden. Still a cool 39 in Provo. 37 in Heber. So a little cooler air trapped over towards the eastern half of the state. 37 in Price and 39 in Emory. But notice over towards the southwestern half of the state, we've got mid-50s from Milford, Cedar City down towards St. George. Again, these numbers 10 to 15 degrees warmer than where they were yesterday at this time. So it's going to be a pretty nice evening. St. George will go from the 50s eventually into the mid-30s by early tomorrow morning. Along the Wasatch Front, very similar conditions. Temperatures will fall through the 40s and then eventually through the mid-30s with partly cloudy skies. But overall, again, some fairly mild temperatures. Notice both in Salt Lake City and St. George staying above freezing tonight into the mid-30s. You'll get some 20s and low 30s outside of the bigger cities along the I-15 corridor. And then the really cold air over in the eastern half of the state where we're going to be in the low to mid-20s from Price, Vernal, over towards Hanksville as that cold air being trapped there in the eastern half of the state. But for the areas along I-15, check this out. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to be on record watch. Salt Lake City, the forecast high, I'm forecasting 53 degrees right now. If we do hit 53, that would break the old record high of 52 set back in 1934. I think the record in St. George is safe. That old record is 68, but I'm still forecasting 62 degrees. So, wow, talk about some very nice warm weather. But don't be confused. We've got some near record warmth tomorrow with those 50s and 60s, but much colder weather arrives this weekend, and we've got the potential of seeing some snow even down to the valley floors by the time we get towards your Saturday morning. And yes, some of it could accumulate. So we'll continue to watch this weather pattern, but it's up and down for sure. High pressure giving us quiet conditions for us. Again, if you have any evening plans, we're not expecting any precipitation. Our next storm is still off the west coast right now, but it will quickly move inland. You can already see it bringing some moisture to the northwest. Then eventually, as it makes its way in, it'll bring precipitation to our area. So we've got one more day of mild conditions with this high pressure ridge to our south, keeping that system off to the north and west, but it quickly rolls in here Friday night into Saturday morning, bringing us that potential of snow across the area and colder temperatures. And then we stick with this northwesterly flow, so we'll see another quick moving system on Monday that could bring us some snow showers. But the bigger story, reinforcing the colder air across the area, and that northerly flow looks to stick around. Now, there's going to be some huge Arctic air temperatures that are going to be falling across the Great Lakes in the eastern half of the country, but we'll get a little taste of that colder air. Here's how it plays out on Futurecast. You can see tomorrow just some clouds on the increase, but the potential of a record high in the afternoon. Then we'll watch that next system approach from the north and west after midnight. But I do think by the time we get towards 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, we've got some valley rain and some mountain snow, but I do think it all switches over to some snow up and down the I-15 corridor from Logan all the way down to about Richfield and Loa by the time we get towards early Saturday morning, with some off and on snow showers through at least midday on Saturday. We'll get a little break Saturday evening. Here comes that next system potentially by Monday. As far as the Saturday system goes, again, an additional 6 to 12 inches for the Wasatch Mountains. The mountain valleys probably looking at about 2 to 6 inches. Look at our central mountains could pick up 1 to 3 inches. And yes, along the Wasatch Front, a dusting to 2 inches. Possible with this system. We'll watch it for you closely. St. George, you're going to kind of miss out still on the storm track to the north. So mainly just some clouds moving in from time to time, 50s and 30s, but that's at or below normal for this time of the year in some days. And then the Wasatch Front, again, we've got that record temperature potential for tomorrow afternoon and then snow potential for Saturday morning. So it's up and down, and it's like a little juggling act going on.
We should be used to that by now.
Yeah.
Right? That is true. That is true.
One thing that's been inconsistent is the inconsistency.
I like that. Right? Like that. You can always count on that.